Very warm welcome to everyone joining us here today. Thank you for taking the time to sit down on this webinar session to learn how to go from data discovery to actionable analytics with the PurpleCube end-to-end analytics as a service solution. My name is Rushay. I am the Chief Marketing Officer at PurpleCube and Edgematics. And joining me today are the PurpleCube experts, Arjun and Shalini, who will be giving you a very interesting and very interactive demo of how you could use the PurpleCube Analytics as a service platform to build actionable analytics in the quickest and most cost-effective way. So before we jump into things, what is PurpleCube? And to put it simply, PurpleCube is an end-to-end, all-in-one, fully integrated data analytics platform. And what that means is that our solution combines both the data integration, data analytics, cloud data warehouse, and data science all packaged into one solution. And you're going to get a chance to see what that looks like in just a few moments. So before we get started, let's first put this all into context. Why are we here today? Now, as data experts and professionals in industry, we face a massive problem. And that problem is, why do data monetization projects fail? Now, let's look at it from an analyst perspective. Gartner has done a lot of research in the industry, and they've identified that through 2022, only 20% of analytics insights will deliver real business outcomes. And 85% of big data projects will fail. This is further elaborated by BizTech and Inc., where more than 70% of data generated by SMBs goes unused, and VentureBeat identified that 87% of data science projects never make it to production. There is a massive untapped potential when it comes to data and deriving insights from that data to drive business decisions. Now, as Edgematics, we are a niche and focused all-in-data company that have been around for many years. We've worked on multiple projects, and we've identified key problems and key factors that contribute towards this cause of data monetizations failing. And this is what we've identified based on our experience. The main reason for this happening is that a lot of organizations have incorrect business use cases that they're applying in their flow today. They haven't been able to map and identify what is the correct business case that they need and implement that correctly. A lot of these organizations are also using complex and costly technologies that fail to deliver the results that the organization needs in order to realize those business cases and bring that into operation. A lot of the platforms that exist today are great, but each of them focus on solving a particular area within the data journey. And another factor that greatly contributes towards the failure of data monetization projects is also the lack of the right talent and skills and expertise needed to build insights from your data. And another major component is that because these tools and technologies that are out there are so complex and so costly to use, sometimes the return on that investment is just not there. You'd be spending more to try and build these use cases and get insights from your data, whereas that cost is just not matching that benefit. So these are some of the key reasons that we've seen in the industry over the years. And this is where we've come to identify an opportunity on how we can solve this solution. So this is where I'd like to present PurpleCube to you. PurpleCube is that end-to-end analytics as a service solution, which is secure, scalable, and cost-effective. We built a customer-centric analytics platform that is supported by a team of data experts with more than 200 years of combined industry experience. So with PurpleCube, you're not just getting a state-of-the-art platform with the latest tools and technologies that you would need to go from data discovery to actionable analytics, but you will also get the support of a team of experts that will help you make your organization more data and customer-centric. So what does this PurpleCube solution look like at a very high level? So essentially, we built PurpleCube to be used by all of the data consumers within the organization. This includes both power users and business users. So whether it's your data engineers, your business analysts, or your data scientists, each of these user types can use PurpleCube in different ways. So what PurpleCube does is that it allows you to connect your different data sources, whether it's file formats, systems, wherever your data is located. It allows you to connect this to our cloud data platform. In our case, we leverage Snowflake with more expansion coming into the AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure environments. Once your data is in the cloud data warehouse, PurpleCube offers 3 different pillars for you to take you through your data journey, from prepare, analyze, and predict. For the preparation, we have a module called PurpleCube Studio. This is where you can connect your data, perform different data quality rules and transformations needed to ingest that data, and this is mainly used by your data engineers. Once the data is in PurpleCube, your business analyst will start to use PurpleCube Analytics, which will help you to analyze your data, and it'll help you to build visual dashboards and pinboards to help you get the insights you need much faster and much quicker. And for the mature organizations out there, for your data scientists, we do offer the PurpleCube Data Science Platform. And this is where your data scientists can build AI or machine learning artifacts, create the models that they need, train those models, and even deploy it all in one platform. With PurpleCube, we built this to be secure, scalable, and cost-effective for businesses of any size. Now, before we get over to the demo, I just want to very quickly highlight what is that real benefit that you're going to get out of PurpleCube. Okay, our whole goal here is to take you from data discovery to actionable analytics in the quickest and most cost-effective way. Okay. We have a few features that I'm just very quickly going to talk through, but you will see this all in action, so please do take note of these. With PurpleCube, we can connect to more than 150 data sources through our pre-built connectors. So no matter what type of data source you're using, PurpleCube will more than likely support that. We also provide an intuitive data preparation wizard to allow you to connect your data and perform the different data integration and data quality transformation rules needed. One of the key unique features about PurpleCube is that it uses Google-like search. And what that means is that you can now search your data and scale through billions of rows in just a matter of seconds using your natural language as you would do in a normal Google-like search. With PurpleCube, we also have an intuitive feature called Smart Insights and Suggestions, where you can leverage the AI capabilities within PurpleCube to generate insights that, and even give you answers to questions you didn't think to ask. It's a process and a platform that works behind the scenes to help you become better at building insights from your data. The PurpleCube Analytics and Data Science platform also supports AI environments, particularly those in R and Python. So if you want to engage in a bit of predictive analytics and forecasting, this will be your ideal solution. And that main goal of us helping you to get from data discovery to actionable analytics in the quickest time is enabled through our industry-specific AI algorithms that we brought into this platform. And we've built pre-model BI dashboards that you can select. So you don't have to do all of that from scratch. In this approach, we found that you can become 100% faster to going from data discovery to insights, and essentially give you a much better return on investment versus having to build your own solution around something like this. Okay? You can literally go from data to insights in seconds and minutes rather than weeks, hours, or even days. Now, PurpleCube is used across all different types of industries and different types of organizations. It's not specific to a particular industry. So this is what makes PurpleCube powerful. No matter what industry you're in, you can use it in the way that you want to and build the visuals and dashboards that you need. So that's enough about me rambling on about PurpleCube. I think the best way for you to actually see the value that it offers is through a live demo itself. So on that note, I'm going to hand it over to our experts, Arjun and Shalini, and they're going to walk you through an example of a retail use case and how the different users would use PurpleCube in their organization. So Arjun and Shalini, over to you.
Thanks, Rushe. Hello, everyone. For today's demo, let's peep into a day in a leading retail organization. Please meet Mark, John, and Jenny. Mark is the Chief Operating Officer who would like to have visibility into the sales growth and would like to analyze it on multiple factors like sales, segment, type, product category, etc. So his expectation is to have complete drill down capability and visibility so that the factors can be analyzed on various levels. And we will also see a quick small use case where he needs to have the sales value aggregated on product and product category. John is his data analyst and Jenny is his data engineer to help him onboard the data sets and get the dashboards. Let's see it in action. Yeah, this is the PurpleCube application that is on your screen. We have separate tabs for dashboard management and data management. Under dashboard management, we have the BI dashboards and AI dashboard segregation as well for you to quickly identify the specific dashboards. And to connect to the data, which is the first part when we need to analyze any kind of data and get the inputs, we need to connect our data first. So for that, the data management will help us. We can either go through the setup wizard option or connect data directly through the source. Now, for connecting data, we have the PurpleCube Studio, which is one of the integral modules of PurpleCube Analytics as a Service platform, which is an easy to use drag and drop browser based user interface to prepare your data. And using PurpleCube Studio, we can build, monitor, and schedule data pipelines, essentially turning the raw data sets into analytics ready with the applied data cleansing and transformation rules very easily and quickly. And what we use here is serverless data processing and the push down architecture to take full advantage of the powerful processing platform beneath it. Now, let's see how Jenny, our data engineer, onboards the associated data sets effortlessly in 3 simple steps. These steps are connecting to source and target system. Second step, to specify this table or file or object that need to be brought in. And third and final step is to design the data pipeline with rules and transformations, if any. Let's assume that the data sets that need to be pulled in are from 3 different source systems for this particular demo. One, a remote file server, an SFTP server. Second, an MySQL database. And third, a SQL Server database. Now, let's see how Jenny connects to this system. So, step 1, to create the data point. Now, data points is to connect to the source and target system. PurpleCube connects to multitude of data sources using native or generic connectivity, and this establishes the relationship with source or target or the processing platform. Now, as you can see on the screen, we have connectors for relational databases, NoSQL databases, Hadoop systems, files, MPP platforms, REST APIs, web services, and cloud and API-based systems such as Salesforce, Facebook, etc., and several other applications. Right now we have over 150 plus pre-built connectors and still expanding. To know the comprehensive list of connectors, please visit our website, purplecube.ai. Now, what Jenny does is, as a first step, she needs to create the connection. So all she does is clicking on new data point, select the file data point, and provide the connection details like host name, port, username, password, etc. The basic connection details. Click save and then test data point. Let's check um, connection, pre-built connection for this particular demo. The details are entered, and we can also validate the connection by clicking on the test data point. And once similarly, the other data points, sorry, that was MySQL one. Yes, just yeah, this is the FTP one, which we spoke about in the first connection. So on clicking on test data point, we get a successful message if it is correct or not. And similarly, for the MySQL one and the SQL Server database, we can provide, we need to provide the connection details such as username, password, the database version, as well as the database that we need to connect. We can add or remove any number of databases to this list. That's how easy it is to create the connection to associate PurpleCube to your source or target system. Now, as a second step, Jenny now needs to specify the object or table that she needs to bring into PurpleCube platform from the data points created earlier. To import any file-based objects such as flat files, JSON or XML, we can use the file data point that we created earlier to locate the objects on the server. Let's see how that is being done. On clicking on import schema, selecting the file data point, clicking on next and clicking on server, it lists down the files available in the SFTP server. Let's choose a file and click on next. PurpleCube provides a quick glance into what the file contains, the data inside the file. And as we can see, the first line is the header. We can check this box to import it as the header column itself. And on clicking on next, it also provides a suggestion on the data type and length based on the sample data from within the file. We can either choose to keep the same or edit and save and close. Similarly, other data objects from the MySQL Server and the SQL Server database are imported into PurpleCube platform. Third and final step is to create the data pipeline specifying how the data should flow from source to target and associated data quality or transformation rules that needs to be incorporated. Let's see how Jenny creates this job. So remember, we have seen a request from Mark to get the aggregated value for product and category. So Jenny knows which are the exact sources that she needs to pick up, and the relation between those data sets. So what you see on the screen is the data flow wizard of PurpleCube Studio. In the center, we have the designer window where we will drag and drop the components from the left pane, which contains the list of source data points that were created, the targets, and the transform components and actions. We have, with PurpleCube, we have pre-built transformation components like expression, joiner, roll up, filter, and other components. So these components will help to massage your data, incoming data, apply the data quality rules using the pre-built data cleansing component, and then load to target. So expressions are used generally to provide the business rules and if any complex transformations need to be done. Joiner is to join two data sets using joining condition, and roll up is for aggregation functions, windowing functions where you need to deduplicate or you need to aggregate to find some average, etc. Roll up will help you in that. And filter is for row based filtering. We also have column based filtering on the go, when we can select the specific columns that needs to be propagated in a data flow. And we have splitter. Splitter is one important component where you can actually split your incoming data into multiple outputs that can be based on some specific conditions that you need to provide, or if there are multiple target transformations that you need to do, then splitter comes handy for you. And then we have when group for union operations, etc. Now in this particular data flow, the records from the file data is getting filtered by Jenny has provided one particular condition to filter the data set, and the data from SQL Server needs some data cleansing. And when it comes to data, one of the tedious activity is to cleanse data, right? And with PurpleCube, you get a click and choose window-driven data cleansing option, where you get the standard data quality rules in a window fashion. Where, for example, trimming the characters, converting to cases, adding padded values, replacing with null values, etc. These are standard data quality functions which most of the data will need to go through. And similarly, if any other complex transformation needs to be implemented, that can be done using expressions. These two data sets are joined using the joining condition, and then using the roll-up component, the aggregation is performed. As you can see on the screen, the sale amount is aggregated on product category and product subcategory. And then finally it is loaded into the target Snowflake. Now the target table in Snowflake need not be pre-created. It gets created dynamically when you run the job, when we check this box, create target. Now suppose if we need to do truncate load activities on a daily basis, you can check this box so that it performs the action and no separate delete action is required on that. Let's run this job and see the execution statics using the monitor window. Now, monitor is the interface. Right now, this is in active state, which we started the execution now. Monitor is the interface to monitor the execution of job and operational statistics. It will help us to view the manage the execution of the jobs. It will help to view the statistics of the executed jobs. As you can see, we can see the step-by-step execution in detail with the associated statistics in the window down. And if we need detailed logs, that can also be viewed using the log session, and any historical runs of the jobs can also be viewed from the history tab. Now let's this job is successfully completed, and we can see the statistics. Now what you see as load and bad here, as load record are the number of records that got input into the target, and if suppose any records gets rejected, that will come under the bad records. Now let's see, like with PurpleCube, as Rushe mentioned, we have industry-specific pre-built dashboards and AI reference models also available to you. Let's see how Jenny brings the data in line with the pre-built templates that we have, and just see the magic of getting the dashboards refreshed or getting the dashboard populated with insights. Now this pre-built dashboards and templates are created by our experts from various verticals. This is one such dashboard where sales growth analysis for retail and sales analysis is mentioned. Right now, as you can see on the screen, the dashboard is empty with the zero metrics and charts. Now, let's go to the job. And Jenny brings in the data from multiple sources, like we have here files, MySQL, SQL Server sources, joined with massaging the data with some joiner conditions, and then inputting into the target table. We can see that our job is currently running now. Now, by the time this job runs, I would like to take you through to the SQL editor feature that PurpleCube Studio has. Now, SQL editor is one single interface to query all your connected databases or applications. So this eliminates the need for specific SQL client tools. With SQL editor, you have the capability to run SQL queries on the source or the target connection that has been created within the PurpleCube. As this is same as the data points that were available in this particular project. And so it uses those pre-configured connections to run the queries. Now, users can also conveniently see the database schemas, tables, views, and their respective attributes as well. Let's just take a quick example of our retail sales job that we ran. Okay, the data gets populated into retail aggregate table. Let's run this query and see the output, and any details related to the table structure that can be identified using the columns tab as well. So that's the SQL editor, and let me share with you another interesting fact with PurpleCube Studio. When you need to lift and shift your data, it's very simple and easy with PurpleCube Studio, and same 3 simple step needs to be done. First, after you connected your source and target database, then we will click on new DM wizard in the data flow, select the target action, and then all we need to do is select the source data point, click on next, select the specific number of tables or objects that you need to import from, say, a SQL server or a MySQL database, and then provide the target connection. That's it. You can save the DM mover job. It creates the data pipeline for you underneath, and once you start execution, sit back and relax until the entire lift and shift of data is completed. We have also dedicated schedulers where you can schedule the data pipelines as well, along with the orchestration between the data flows. That means to define certain conditions to run your job, or define the sequential order in which you can run your job. That orchestration can be done using the job flow module. Now, let's see if our job is successful. It is running, and one interesting thing that I would like to show you is the toggle mode. Now, we can use this interactive button, the toggle mode on, to view the data in every step as we progress. This data tab become visible once we toggle this on. Let's see the output. Yes, it gives a quick glance in your data, and this data can be viewed at every step within the job data flow. This saves a lot of time by avoiding to wait to run the job to ensure the correctness of the job. Often we run the job and then go and check our logs whether it is successful or failed. Even while designing the job, this data interactive mode will help you to rectify you if any errors. Now, yes, our job is successful, and it has loaded these many records. With it gives us statistics as well. Now let's try to refresh our dashboards and see the magic of very exciting insights that Mark is gonna get. Yes, we have the sales growth analysis um, dashboard, and we have sales analysis dashboard also got populated. Now, let's see. Arjun will reveal the features of PurpleCube Analytics to you in next few minutes, and let's see how easy it is for Mark to uh, analyze this dashboard by himself, or if he can create certain insights by himself. And also John, his data analyst, how he helps to use PurpleCube Analytics and get the required insights for Mark. Over to you, Arjun.
Thanks, Shalini. Uh, Hi, everyone. So what we just saw is a data engineer onboarding the data onto the platform for a specific data template. And with that, we have these pre-built dashboards available for consumption. So this is cool, right? Like every organization has some standard dashboards based on some use cases. So if that use cases is among the list which PurpleCube has, then they'll be getting those ready dashboards. So generally for building these dashboards, it would have taken like months effort or at least a week's effort. But with PurpleCube Analytics, it would be reduced to reduced to days. So that's how easy it is in PurpleCube to get these dashboards for those specific use cases. And now with this dashboard available for Mark, like he will go through this specific dashboard and he will see like what all insights he can get. And if he feels like this dashboard has to be shared with one of his team members or with his team, he can just go and click on this share icon. And with the share icon, he will be having the list of users available based on his access, the users or the groups. He can select that specific user and he can provide the view or edit access. With the view access, the users will be able to just view the dashboard and they will not be able to make any edits. But with the edit access, they'll be able to make any kind of edits to the dashboard if they have the right privileges and the access to the underlying data sources. So let's give a view access and just say share. So with this, like Mark has shared this dashboard with his team, with his team or the user in his team. Let's say now Mark wants to create a copy of this dashboard. He can just click on this make a copy and he'll be able to get a copy of this dashboard and he can add his own insights to it. And if someone wants a PDF version of the dashboard, yes, we can download it as a PDF. And if we want to have it as a schedule, like let's say I want it on a weekly basis or a daily basis, I want this dashboard to be sent to my mail ID. How do I do it? Like we have those managed schedules wherein you can just click on this manage schedules, click on schedule here and select the interval. And there are multiple intervals which you can start with, like right from minutes to month level. So I will select it at a weekly level and I will select the weekdays and I will select Thursday. I'll say done and I will select a specific hour for it. So 9 a.m. is when I want it. And I will give a name for it and description and type is CSV and PDF. So I will configure the layout options. I will select PDF. So I can select the entire pinboard. Pinboard is nothing but dashboard in PurpleCube Analytics. And visualizations, if it is in visualization mode, like we can select the specific visual we want it in our PDF. So I will select a pinboard here and save it. And then let's say I want to add a condition, like if I want to define a threshold value, and if that threshold value is crossed, I want this report to be sent to my mail ID. I can define those threshold values also, like in this example, like sum of revenue greater than 100. Same way, we can define some calculation here, and then we will get that PDF version of the dashboard if a threshold is crossed. Now here again, just like how we use the share button, and added the group and the user. So based on my access, like whichever groups I have access to and the users to which I have access to, I can select a specific user and I'll say add, and that user can be added. And similarly in the email section too, like if we want to send it to a person who is outside the organization, it can be some vendors with whom we want to share this dashboard. So if their email or the domain names are whitelisted in PurpleCube Analytics environment, you can send this dashboards as a PDF format to them too. So then just say schedule, and now I will get a PDF version of the dashboard every Thursday at 9 a.m. in the morning. So that's how easy it is to create those schedules. Now let's go ahead and see like what else can be done with this dashboard, what all I can do. So let's say if I want to explore more on a specific visual, like how do I do it? Like in PurpleCube Analytics, when we hover over on the visual, we get an option called as explore. And what this explore option does is, like based on whatever the dimension and measure we have selected here, like we have 4 options: filter, add, replace, and compare. Under each option, it will give some suggestions. So the more and more we use these visuals, the suggestions becomes better, and it will give more like useful suggestions. So right now, I have selected the return reason and the total sale amount. Based on that, it is providing me a suggestion: select a product category, fresh food to filter. If I select the fresh food, it gets filtered on fresh food. And if I don't want that filter to be there, I can just remove it off. And if I want to add any dimension, particular dimension for this, like return reason is the dimension available here. If I want any of it, it is already giving me some suggestions. So there is always these guided suggestions available for the users. So even the users, if they are not technically sound, or they are non-technical users or business users, they don't have to go through these rigorous trainings, or they don't have to understand the tool completely. There is always this friendly suggestions available, so that they can just come to the platform, click on explore, and they get those suggestions to dig deeper. And again, in the replace, right now the return reason is the one which is available. And if I want to change it to product category, I can change it to product category. Or if I want it to something else, I can do it for something else too. And now if I want to compare between 2 different values, so it gives me some suggestions. Okay, you want to compare between damaged product versus not happy with the product, or damaged product versus wrong product. I can select from these comparisons. The more and more we use these data sets, there will be more suggestions available for these kind of comparisons. And if we want a specific value also, we can always utilize the length and breadth of the data set here and select those comparisons like what we want. So once I click on this, so now I have the comparison of damaged product versus wrong product by different product category and by different sale type. So if I want to add this insight to my existing dashboard, I will just say pin. I will select this pin icon, click on this pin icon, and select the existing dashboard, which is sales analysis retail demo. So once I do that, it will be available as an insight in this dashboard. So now we have this insight available here. So that's how easy it is to go, even for any business user or non-technical users, to get those insights. And then this is about the dashboard, like the pre-built dashboard and the capabilities around it. And if we want to move on to the next one, which is the Google-like search. So this is where all the insight generation and pinboard development happens. Like any user, be it the technical or non-technical or business user, they can just go ahead and utilize this search feature to search on top of the data set and get the insights. So to discuss on this search capability, so this is the Google-like search bar. Like in this modern day world, anyone is well aware of like how to use the Google search or how to use the YouTube search to get the content which they're looking for. The same thing applies in PurpleCube Analytics. They just have to search about their business. Like if their data sets is been onboarded by the data engineer, they just have to search on top of their business data and they will get the insights. So for this demo, let's discuss this in two parts. So John, who is a data analyst, like how he will go about the requirements which is being provided by Mark, who is the COO. And then we will, in the second part, we will see how COO Mark himself can generate insights easily through this search capability. So for the first requirement, let's say John has got a requirement to show the sales by states. So I will just select the sales. Once I start typing, like whatever is relevant for which I type, I will get those columns or data values, everything here. So for me now the sales is important. And also if you see, there are some suggestions available here. This is because I have done some previous searches, and also the more and more the users use it, it gets better. Like it does that ranking. Like if there is a particular search which has been performed multiple times, that will be available at the top of the suggestion here. So now I want it by state. So John will select the state. And because state is a geo column, like we are getting it as a map. So now I want to just add some details to it. I will add some data labels. Now I'm fine with it. And I want to create a pin board now. So I will just say pin, and I will create a new pin board. And I will give a name for it. I will say test. And now once I get a tick mark here, that visual has been added. And now let's say the next requirement is like Mark wants to see the sales by region, and he wants to see it by product category. He wants to see it by category. Yeah, so I will select the category here, but I get a bar chart by default. Like how do I change it? So I can go and select this chart picker. Based on the dimension and measure, it will show some options and it highlights those things. I want it as a Sankey chart. I want to see the flow for different regions across categories. So I will select this, and I have a Sankey chart available and I'm happy with it. So I will go ahead and plug it to the existing dashboard. So this is how a data analyst would take the requirements and do it. But with PurpleCube Analytics, we want to put the power in the hands of the business users. So that the data analyst can focus on the complex requirements, and whatever ad hoc analysis or a simple request can still stay with business users, because we are trying to empower those business users to utilize this platform to generate their insights on their own and get the faster insights and take those quick business decisions, which is the need of the day, need of today's world. So let's see from a business user perspective. I don't know what data set it is and what columns is there. I just want to see, like, pertaining, like with respect to my business, I want to see some details, or I want to get some insights. So I am responsible for California state sales. So I will just say sales. And now I don't know whatever columns is there or dimensions is there. I will just start typing California. So once I start typing California, California is a value in the state column field, but we are getting those data value also in this search. So I can select this California state, and we have this total sale value. But what if I want it for a specific year? I don't have to do anything else. Like I just type the year number, and I'll select the date on which it needs to be done. So I have the 2020 year data. So let's say the user does not know to put it as 2020 also. He can say in the natural language. Now we are in 2021. So 2020 was last year. So I will say last year. So once I type last, we have all these calculations available. Once the date column is available in the data set, like all these calculations are pre-built for the users. They don't have to do any calculation. All these calculations are pre-built and they can select it. So once I select last year, I have it as last year. And now if I want to plug it as a KPI, I can just say pin and select the pin board, and that's it, it's done. But what if I want it by month of year? By month I want. So I will say month of year, and I have all those calculations ready. And now it is showing me as a cross tab. But if I want it as a visual, I can just do a simple toggle. And if I want to beautify this, add some data markers and all, I can just select the data markers here and add some labels. And now I have it by month. And now I will go ahead and pin it to my existing dashboard. So that's done. And let's say I want to do a comparison of sales between 2019 versus 2020. How do I do it? So I will select sales, and I will just say like how we talk, like in the natural language. I will just say that 2020 space versus. So once I typed versus, we got it as keyword. These are the keywords available within PurpleCube Analytics. And then I will say 2019. So now I have the sales value for 2019 and 2020. That was easy, right? Like now if I want it again by month of year, I can say month of year. See, it was that easy to get those comparison between two different years, and I don't have to bring any date column or anything. Whatever I want to do, I can just like how I would see a chart, or how I would discuss about a chart. That's what I need to do in the search bar. Now I'll go ahead and pin it to the existing dashboard. And now let's say we want to see the profit. I want to see the profit by different category. Okay, I have it by category, but I see that furniture is not giving me a big profit. So I want to dig deeper. How do I do it? Just right click on it and say drill down. Like in other analytical tools, we don't have to create those hierarchies. We can always utilize the whole data set, the length and breadth of the data set, to select whichever point we are interested in or whichever dimension we are interested in. So now I want to see by subcategory, like what are all the subcategories which is performing bad. I see that tables is performing very bad. So I want to dig more deeper. Again, I will go to the drill down capability. And now I want to see which region is contributing for negative profits. I see that East is contributing more for negative profits. I want to dig more deeper. I want to see which state is contributing more for it. So I will select that state. Okay, I have it by chart, but I have it by map, but I want it by bar chart. Okay, I select this. So I see that New York is the one which has highest negative profits, but now there are few smaller values, but I just want the last bottom 5. So how do I do it? I will say bottom, that is a keyword, and I will say a number. So now I have it by bottom 5, and now I can just add those labels if I want. And I got this insight. I can just go ahead and pin it to my existing dashboard. And even some complex calculations like growth calculations and all is very easy to do. Like if I want to see the growth of, I will say growth of, and by default it is giving me the measures. So growth of sales by, so I will select by, and it will give me the order date. So we are measuring it by order date, right? It is against the time. So I want to see by order date, and at what level. I want to see it at a monthly level. So I will select monthly. And if I want it year over year, I will select this keyword. So I have it year over year. And if I want it just for 2020, I will just say last 2 years. And I have it by last 2 years. So compared to 2019, in 2020, In 2020, in Jan, it was 137%, and in Feb, it was minus 11%. So I got those growth calculations too. It's that easy. Like whatever we talk, that's what we need to type here. And this is about the search capability and how even a business user can utilize our platform and do those basic searches and get those insights on their own. So now let's go to the pinboard which we just created and see how we can rearrange or beautify it from the layout. So if I want to resize anything, I should just hover over it. And select from this predefined sizes. And if I'm happy with it, okay, I'm happy with it. And we just go ahead and save changes here. And one more interesting feature is, like, if someone wants to know like how this search was performed, like we don't have to have someone train them or tell them like how it was performed. We have this capability called replay search feature. This is a very beautiful feature within PurpleCube Analytics, wherein the users will get to know how exactly this search was performed. Like it starts from the scratch, like it shows which data set was selected and what were the searches performed on those specific data set to get this visual. So that is one interesting feature which is available with the PurpleCube Analytics. And now this is about the search capability. Let's say there are users who do not want to do these searches also. They like once the data set is onboarded, they want those automated insights or ready insights. How do we do it? Like we have a feature called a Spot IQ, which is an AI enabled feature. So we just have to select the data set in which we are interested in. So I will select a specific data set. So click on it and click on this elliptical icon and say Spot IQ Analyze. So it gives me a window wherein I can select the columns on which this automated analysis needs to be run. Or else if someone is well versed with this data science features or like well versed with these algorithms and they know how to refine the parameters for those specific algorithms, they can do that here. But for now, we will just select the basic analysis and say analyze. So now the analysis has started. If we go under the Spot IQ tab, it has started. Let's see how much time it takes to complete this analysis. Okay, now my analysis is ready. So it gives me the count here. So Spot IQ found almost 16 insights by analyzing these many rows in these many seconds. So it gives me these automated insights. And if there are similar insights, it groups under a tab like tabbed containers. And there are multiple things. And we also can give this feedback. Like if this insight was useful, we can give a high-fi or like it was not useful, yes or no kind of a feedback. So if we give a no, then it will make sure that it is not included in the next analysis. So here also, if we feel any insight is useful for us, we can just plug it to the dashboard which we just created. And also we can see here in the captions here, it tells us like what are the anomalies or what are the outliers or trends pertaining to that specific visual. We can go through that, and if we feel like it is relevant to us, we can just pin it and add it to the existing dashboard. Whichever insight is useful for us, we can just go ahead and select, pin it, and add it to our existing dashboard. So that's on the analytics part. Like we have covered most of the features, like the automated feature and the search feature, which is so powerful that it enables those business users who were earlier finding it difficult to adapt to these business intelligence tools or the analytics environment. Now with these kind of tool provided by PurpleCube, the adoption rate of business users will definitely increase, and it will not be the same, and business users will be empowered to take their own decisions and make those quick decisions for their organizations. And finally, to talk about the AI feature which is available with PurpleCube, PurpleCube is providing an AI platform, which is AI dashboards. Which with the AI platform, what happens is, like if we have a use case, if the company has a use case which is listed in PurpleCube environment, they will get some reference models. Companies can go through those reference models and make use of it as a starting point. Otherwise, we understand that every company's requirement is different, every company's data is different. They can build their own models utilizing our environment, wherein they can have the freedom of choice of their language, whether it is Python or different versions of Python. They can select that, and they don't have to worry about the underlying infrastructure, and they can just go about building their models, training their models, and finally whatever outputs is there, they can just plug it back to the PurpleCube application. Just like how we saw that under the AI dashboard section, they can plug back their outputs, and based on like who should have access, we can define that at a PurpleCube application level, and those users will have access to these data science insights. Yeah, with that, it concludes the AI platform which PurpleCube offers. And over to you, Rishay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Arjun and Shalini. So there you have it, folks. You've just seen how quickly and cost effectively you could go from data discovery to actionable analytics in a matter of minutes, not hours or days. So we've come to the end of the session, and we are out of time to run a live Q&A, but we have captured all of your questions, and we will be responding to those questions via email as soon as this webinar is over. So before I close off, I just want us to cover a few key takeaways that you need to know, when it comes to analytics as a service. So if this is something that you are considering for your organization, here's a quick checklist that you should basically ask yourself to understand: is this the right solution for me? So firstly, is the solution cost effective? Can you go from can you generate valuable insights without having to break the bank? Is it scalable and flexible? Does it meet your organization's needs, and can it be customized for that? Is your data going to be secured in the cloud? Does it provide an end-to-end solution, everything all in one, instead of having multiple tools that you're trying to connect and work with? Is the platform also supported by a team of experts in case you do come into any trouble along the way? And lastly, and probably most importantly, can you achieve quick wins but from the solution faster than you would from traditional tools that are out there? And I'm happy to inform you that this is how we built PurpleCube to address each of these challenges, and it's definitely something that you should consider if you are looking to go from your data discovery to actionable in analytics in the quickest and most cost-effective way possible. So that brings us to the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you learned something here today. And as a next step, if you see value that this could bring to you or your team, then definitely request a personalized and tailored demo through our website. Our experts will sit down with you for an hour and even show you how PurpleCube can be used in your specific use cases. So I've included the link in the chat, but if you can also visit www.purplecube.ai and request a demo today. So thank you and for joining us. And on that note, I'd like to bid you farewell. Have a great day. Goodbye.